with coronavirus raging, I find it really interesting to see Trump's tactics going into the 2020 election. You know, the whole not supporting more unemployment benefits. If you remember, unemployment benefits, those $600 unemployment benefits from the first stimulus package, is going to end at the end of July. And already 1/3 of American households had to missed their mortgage. So we're going to see how that one turns out. But Trump has been trying his best to restart his campaign, kickstart it back into action, and get the American people back on his side, because the silent majority is out there and they're in his corner. Okay, they're in his corner. But apparently the polls really aren't keeping up with that. And today, a poll came out from NBC and the Wall Street Journal saying that 50% of voters already crossed out Trump in their mind for voting in 2020. Let's take a look. Is this right? Okay.
As you work your way along that gender education line, just two really different stories emerge there. And that's it. The gender gap and also the racial gap among whites closing from 2016.
And there's one more thing that jumped out in the poll. So we asked this, is there any chance would you vote for Donald Trump? Any chance you'd vote for Joe Biden, right? And we got the hard no of 50% on Trump. And we got the hard no on 37% for Biden. So we can do the math. That gives us 13% of the folks we interviewed admitting to us that they're persuadable. Who are these 13%, and are they likely voters?
So it's interesting. Yeah, we were taking a look at this and trying to figure out, it looks like the group might lean a little bit more Republican than Democratic. The folks who say their vote is up for grabs in some way, some of them right now say they might be with Trump if they had to. Some say they might be with Biden. A lot say that they would be for neither. About 50% say they'd be with neither. But I think the thing that emerges when I was looking at those different groups is, even if Trump won the folks who are up for grabs, if he got 60% of them, if he got 70% of them, if he overwhelmingly won that group, and you look at the sort of demographics there, you don't quite see it, but if he overwhelmingly won that group, he'd still probably be losing the popular vote by a very sizable margin. If 50% already say they won't vote for him, and Biden were to tack on a couple more from this up for grabs category, you're already at a level there where, 53, 54% of the electorate overall is not going to vote for Trump. So it seems to me this isn't the issue for Trump. This is.
Okay, so I'm not sure if I have to explain it to everybody, but 50% of the electorate already saying that there's no possible way from them voting for Trump is very, very bad for Trump. But we have some other numbers that we can go through really, really quick. So today, from a Quinnipiac poll, Biden opened up a 15-point lead over Trump. And Quinnipiac is one of those polls that skew just slightly bit more conservative. So Trump had every opportunity to do not as bad as being 15 points down, but he still always manages to impress. That's just his character. After coming from reality TV, he really knows how to make an entrance. I'll tell you what. A majority of registered voters, 52%, say they'll support Biden in the general election, with 37% going for Trump. That's horrible. Wednesday, and this is the poll that we looked at just then. 51% say that they'll. My bad. 51% said that they'll be going for Biden, and only 40% said that they're going to stick with Trump. Bad for Trump? Yep, it's not looking too good for our boy. Overall, the survey finds that 36% of registered voters approve of the way Trump is handling his job generally, and 60% disapprove, compared to 42 to 55 back in June. So as coronavirus just keeps raging on, Trump just keeps losing ground to Biden. And so here's what I think, okay? These polls are important to give us a snapshot of where we are, to give campaigns a snapshot of where they are, for how they're going to continue to push for getting themselves into office come November, which, mind you, is 3 months away. I don't go over these polls to show you that, oh, look, guys, it's in the bag. Trump's going to be out of here soon. I show you these polls to let you know where we are, all right? I just like to cover them. I think it's really interesting to see where we are and to know where we can go, because my advocacy for my progressive platform, I have two jobs as a progressive, okay? Number one job is to push progressive policy. That's my number one job in this country, to move us further left, to move the Overton window left, to make sure that more conservative policy is less and less palatable to the American populace. That's very important to me because I feel like that will make the world a better place. I feel like, and that's rooted in both facts and also logic. My second goal is to mitigate harm. When I cannot push progressive policy, it's important to mitigate harm wherever we can find it. All right. Lesser of two evils may suck, but lesser of two evils is a valid strategy for reducing harm. And that's what we should be doing. Biden is not necessarily the best friend of progressives. I think we could all agree with that. Biden is not necessarily the best deuterino in the bunch, but Biden is better than Trump. And with that being said, it's important to know that I go over these polls not to lull you into the opinion that you shouldn't go out and vote, and that you shouldn't vote down ballot, especially because we need Trump out, and we need everyone out there to make sure that they use their voice to make sure that happens. Because the damage he's doing to our world through climate change, the damage he's doing to our country and our institutions, the eroding of our standing in the world. Like the EU recently said that they have to move away from the American model. Like they cannot trust us. The Trump presidency showed them that they cannot trust the US for world leadership. And that is really horrible, with China coming up and trying to fill that power vacuum and making moves in the developing world. We have to make sure that we step in there to stop them. Okay? So with this being said, I want to let you know that you should be going out to vote. You shouldn't let this lull you into the belief that you should go out and vote. I don't like Biden. I know you probably don't like Biden either. Not many people do, actually. If you look at the enthusiasm gap between Trump and Biden, at least if we're going to give Trump anything, he knows how to rile up his base. Still has around like a 90% approval rating among Republicans. That's more than what we can say for Trump. So with this being said, make sure that you go out and vote. Make sure that you you stay tuned to politics. This is very important so we can get this guy out of here. All right.